What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of RGTP. I am your host, Lewis, and with me, as always, Mr. Mamba.
How's it going, bro? What's going
How
on?
is it going, my guy? What are
It's
we
hot
doing today?
again. It's
It's a
hot.
hot day.
It was cold, like 30-degree weather cold recently, like 2 days ago, and now it's back to being hot. It's
Back
ridiculous,
to
bro.
being hot down in Florida. It
Yeah.
is slightly starting to warm up here in Massachusetts, about
Didn't
55
it
today.
just snow?
It was supposed to be well, parts of Massachusetts got absolutely destroyed, particularly me. I didn't get anything. I got about an inch in total.
Nice.
Over where some of our friends are at in Massachusetts, it got like a foot and a half or some crazy shit. Like literally, and it's only like a 20-minute, like literally
Yeah.
a couple towns
Hey,
over. So.
nah, I've seen weather over here where it's literally raining in the front yard and sunny in the backyard.
Like,
So trust me,
it
I've seen some
making
shit.
no sense
Yo.
whatsoever. But it is Friday, which means we talk about wrestling. Yes.
And not just one promotion today.
No.
Not
We
just two
talking
promotions
everything.
today.
We talking
We
everything.
talk. Yeah.
There's a whole lot of build going on. There's a lot of wrestling on every single day, almost at this point, except for the weekends, and it's where pay-per-views end up developing and taking shape. So
Yeah.
let's start.
Premium live events.
Premium live events. If you're WWE, pay-per-views. If you're
Yeah.
AEW, you know what I mean, whatever you want to describe it. But let's start with the newly relaunched Ring of Honor under the
Yeah.
AEW umbrella. Honor Club is live. ROH television is back on our screens Thursdays. And we do have some build because everything about WrestleMania, everyone thinks WWE, 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 but it is actually a hotbed of wrestling that entire week. Last year, we had WrestleMania, Stand and Deliver. We had Supercard of Honor. We also had the multiverse of matches that went down. So we have our Ring of Honor build to Supercard of Honor. Some of our championships are finally getting some built storylines. Claudio looks to be defending against Eddie Kingston at Supercard of Honor, which should be super amazing. Willa Yuta has officially called out Shibata.
How do you pick a winner in that match, man? How do you pick a winner between Claudio and Eddie, bro?
Eddie Kingston,
It ain't possible.
ROH Pure Champion Willa Yuta challenges Shibata, and of course, Reach for the Sky, a ladder match to crown new ROH Tag Team Champions, as announced by Mark Briscoe. The Lucha Brothers already in. Mamba, how are we feeling about the slight build early on to Supercard of Honor, and how is it looking?
I mean, you got Lucha Bros. That's all you need. Honestly, that right there, that'll sell the show for just about everyone. Eddie Kingston and Claudio.
Yeah.
Thank God Blackpool's turning heel, right? Or they've gone heel, so he could just not cheat to be Eddie, but when he does something where it's like, come on, Claudio, you ain't have to do that, it'll make sense because they're supposed to be dickheads. Willa Yuta, another dickhead. Like, something with AEW and ROH that I'm seeing, they like their heels being champions at the moment.
At the moment, yes. At the moment, almost every single one of them is a heel, I think.
Orange Cassidy face.
Yeah.
We were talking about this, right? And this will go for ROH because they are under one banner with AEW and stuff. AEW doesn't per se have... They do have heels and faces. Like, you can tell when someone's being a heel or a face, for them. But everybody's kind of a dick at times in AEW. So they're all kind of heels, but the crowd respects them, right?
Right.
And they know, like, okay, I shouldn't cheer when they're trashing this dude because he's supposed to be the face. So I will boo him to give the reaction that they're looking for. But I still love you, so I'm going to sing your songs. I'm going to cheer for you when you do win, even though you're a dick. It's pretty good. And that goes with ROH, Claudio. Love him. Eddie, love him. Luchas, if they're going to be there, they should probably be on AEW more, though. Love them. Mark Briscoe is supposed to be facing Samoa Joe, is what I saw is being teased. That match is going to be fantastic.
I think that was filmed for it.
I think so. Spoilers for anyone.
Yeah.
My fault, but Mark versus Samoa Joe, that just sounds like a banger of a match. Someone's bleeding. Both are probably bleeding. Hard hitting.
Yep.
That's what Ring of Honor looks like. Like, the matches just look fantastic right now with what we see. You see Dante Martin's frog splash?
Yeah.
Or went between the legs? That was pretty cool. Like,
Yep.
ROH is doing good stuff right now.
Yep. ROH is on the climb. Of course, we'll still have, as you mentioned, Mojo will have a challenger for the ROH Television Championship. Looks like it'll be Mark Briscoe. Athena is lying in the weights. We'll see who she ends up taking on. So the ROH banner is, building. The 6-man, that's going to be interesting. Currently held by the Embassy, and there's rumors Brian Cage is looking to be on his way out. We'll have to see, but ROH in a good spot so far. Thursdays, check it out. Of course.
It's on their Ring of Honor streaming service, right?
Yeah. Yep. It's on Honor Club. Yeah.
Honor Club is what it's called.
Yeah.
As you can see, I don't have it
yet. Moving on, of course, the wider spectrum of AEW. AEW All Access, taking us where cameras have never been allowed to go before.
Yeah, I mean, for them at least.
We have already seen snippets of Adam Cole talking to Kyle O'Reilly. We have seen Britt talking about storylines being on hold because Thunder Rosa being the champion. We've seen Ty Conti and Ruby Soho having a bit of a disagreement backstage, and of course,
if it happens again, there's gonna be some consequences. And she was like,
of course,
all right, bitch.
Bullet Club and the Young Bucks talking about they're not into politicking. They're just like to wrestle. So based off all the trailers that we've seen some of the faces that are going to be featured. How are we feeling about this All Access experience from AEW as they continue to grow and try to become more mainstream?
Yeah. I mean, it's good for people who enjoy, documentary shows. Documentary shows are fine. They're not really my cup of tea. Like, I guess I'll pop them on here and there. But the one that I really watched was the NXT one from a long ass time ago now, which is kind of crazy to say. So if it's anything like that, it'll be good. If it's anything like a wrestling documentary, it's going to be good, right? My favorite part about it is knowing that once that has aired, we already saw Adam Cole back in the ring. That's my favorite part. He's supposed to be wrestling, the same day that shit's airing. So it's fine if y'all like it. Not really my thing, but knowing that Adam Cole is going to be back in the ring that night, that's perfect.
It's going to be awesome. Is that your favorite part to see of All Access?
Oh yeah, for sure. And it has to be O'Reilly against O'Reilly. You see them talking together. His first match has to be against O'Reilly.
O'Reilly's first match back has to be like their first match back against each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God, I'm actually interested to see if, at all, we get any sort of mentions of the brawl out from All In and see if we get any look at that. We did see Tony Khan in some shots in the background here and there. So it's gonna be interesting to see what we get of that sort of the gorilla position,
dog barking
and creative. The backstage.
Go to commercial.
It is going to be interesting enough. Like I said, AEW is trying to become more mainstream. WWE has been on the E with Total Divas. The Bella Twins have had their own show. We have had Miz and Maurice. So we've seen it. We've seen WWE do it. AEW tried it. Cody had his own show.
Yeah. All that for the lead up to him at WrestleMania. Woo!
Mm-hmm. So, we know about being the elite on YouTube for the elite. So they're just trying to become more mainstream in television. I'm honestly excited to see what they do as they continue to branch off, as mentioned, ROH, now AEW All Access. The company is trying. Tony Khan is doing everything he can. And I'm excited to see what's going to come out.
They're also apparently getting another show on Saturday.
Yes, I believe that was supposed to be Collision. I think it's AEW Collision was what the title is rumored to be. So
hopefully it's only like an hour.
I would think so. I think it's just another Rampage pretty much to get some more featured talent on television.
Yeah.
Speaking of television.
Can't put ROH on TV.
Not yet. Not yet. They'll get
I hear it.
But speaking of television, we had a jam-packed Dynamite on Wednesday. Of course, starting up the re-bar mitzvah of the devil himself, MJF that ended up turning into the pillars of
That
AEW,
was cool. I enjoyed that.
all interacting, all getting in the ring together, all expressing that they are the future of AEW. Of course,
Which
Sammy
potentially
Guevara,
they are.
Darby Allin, and Jungle Boy Jack Perry all come out to confront MJF and Mambo. Walk me through it. What did you like so much about this beginning interaction from this Wednesday show?
I mean, the beginning. MJF in his dancing, getting in a chair, and they almost drop him. Like they almost didn't get him up, and
Yep.
then they did hoist him up. But no, you saying the pillars and it. Jungle Boy is the face. Like he is the perfect face for that pillar. And then you got Guevara is the perfect heel because everybody loves to hate him because he is a dick. And then Darby is the wild card, right?
Yep.
And then when you think of MJF, he's the devil.
Yep. Pretty self-explanatory.
Moxley, the wild card.
Yeah.
Omega, he's more face than he is heel because nobody's gonna boo that man. And
Same
then
with
Jericho, and Hangman's the face, and then like Jericho was the heel and he's with Guevara or Guevara's with him.
Yep.
It made sense for all those characters to be there. If AEW wants to survive, they gotta have the new talent. They can't just be like, "Oh, you were in NXT, you were pretty good. Let's come bring you over here." Or, you were already established. Let's bring you in. They have to get their own.
Yep.
And these 4, I say 4 because we ain't know about MJF yet. He might leave. These 3.5, pretty good pillars, man.
Right. Pretty
Did you
good
see
pillars.
Kingston on Twitter?
That he said
He
something
was
about he hated
talking.
it.
He was talking
Yeah.
shit, and he was like, "I'm just talking shit. Let him fight, man."
Yeah, it's the faces, the faces of
Yep.
AEW, along with, we have Jade, Jamie Hayter, Hangman, all these sort of ascending talents. Because like you said, you can't really rely on these veteran established talents like the Lucha Bros and Kenny Omega and Jericho and Moxley
Hey,
and all these
we
pre-established
still
stars.
need a Lucha Bro to hold that title. Eventually. I know not yet. Eventually, please.
Okay, well, okay. I don't think it's gonna happen though.
Please.
But yeah, the pillars of AEW need to be built up and propped up all individually to legitimize the company for the future. That's exactly what they need to do, and it's in a great spot. And I'm low-key hoping that we get a fatal four-way at Double or Nothing. We have a lot of weeks to build. I think all these guys can start picking up wins, all make a viable opportunity at being the number one contenders.
Yeah.
Might happen. It'll probably do a triple threat match at some point to determine the number one contender, which I'm okay with. I'm totally okay with it.
Poor Darby, man. He's probably eating that loss. He's probably the safest one to eat the loss and be able to recover from it. Maybe Guevara because he's a heel, But I feel like out of those 3, Darby can eat that loss confidently and move past it. Jungle Boy, it might sour, because they finally got him past Christian Cage, and then even though it is MJF and 2 other people, people are weird. People don't know what they want, like people were saying, I think Darby's the best one to eat that loss.
I hear it. I actually think if they do some sort of triple threat number one contender, I actually think Darby wins.
I'm all for that.
I actually think Darby wins, and I think him versus MJF running it back, I think would be perfect. I don't know how much the fans would be in love with it when you put it in a sort of main event slot to lead off, or maybe you could even lead off the show, because we've seen they're not afraid to open up shows with title matches, as we've seen with Ring of Honor. So
not a good one. Not a good one. I mean, they did start, but there was some bad shit going with that.
Yeah. But I think Darby would be the one to come out of that potentially. But obviously, this is sort of to help prop up Jungle Boy, who has been in sort of tag team purgatory. We've already seen Sammy and Darby each hold the TNT title respectively. So I believe this would be a way to start propping up our good old friend Jungle Boy, Jack Perry.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
When do they drop Jungle Boy?
Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon.
He's got over with the wave.
He did. He's doing. Hey, he's trying. He's doing his thing. Of course, the AEW All Atlantic Championship was leveled up this Wednesday and is now being called the International Championship and will no longer be defended on U.S. soil, depending on who the winner of the outcome. Orange Cassidy versus Double J Jeff Jarrett. As we've seen, Orange Cassidy retains, and anybody that's followed Orange Cassidy over the last year would know. He already spent time in Japan with Chaos, with Rocky Romero and Okada. So he's actually already been in New Japan building some roots. So I actually think he will go out there and defend this championship. And I will tell you what, major plot twist. Leading into Forbidden Door, I would have an AEW competitor challenge the winner of the International Championship because I think Orange Cassidy should lose it.
To who?
Any one of the New Japan guys.
I would love
any one of
Naito
them
to take that title off him, man.
Any one of them.
Yo, Naito takes that and he just disrespects it like he did the IC title.
And then he can win at Forbidden Door and walk out with it. I actually think that would be the perfect way to do it. Title change.
Get Naito on AEW.
Title
we
change.
Need to push this agenda. Yeah.
Title change outside of US soil to level it up, the international portion of it. Do a title change. Televise the match on a Dynamite or a Rampage. Film it.
Throw it on their YouTube.
Or the YouTube. We have seen Pac. His matches were uploaded. Do a title change internationally. Do it in Japan. Do it in Europe. I don't give a damn. Man. I don't give a damn. Do a title change. Bring the title back for Forbidden Door. And have that the winner, whoever beats Orange Cassidy, let him have a bit of a run with the belt. You get ROH, AEW branded all across Japan, Europe, wherever. Give it to an international person. Why don't we run that Will Ospreay match back? Will Ospreay,
Omega versus Ospreay for the US and the international title.
Oh wow, that could be something. But I think Orange Cassidy should lose this belt once he goes international. It would build up the brand of AEW. You bring the title back at Forbidden Door. You can give someone maybe like Jungle Boy the opportunity to challenge for the belt, and I think it's a win-win scenario.
Lose it eventually. Let him have like maybe 2-3 successful defenses, so it doesn't look like he's weak. Immediately lost it as soon as he got out of. He got to beat some players.
Maybe that's why Mexico.
Hey, I mean, he could go anywhere. And I'm all for it.
That's it. You're all for it.
Oh, my fault. My mom texted me. Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't I be for it? You can go down there, face Vikingo.
Yep.
I know there's more that I'm completely blank. Uventud. Haven't faced a Guerrero. And then go to Japan because the idea of Naito getting on my TV. That's
Naito. There's Zack Sabre Jr. over there. There's any one of.
Do we get Zack Sabre Jr. versus Bryan Danielson?
I believe we get that.
We have to, right? We have to. There's literally Bryan Danielson.
So many options. Yeah. There's Forbidden Door is going to be exciting. Cannot wait for Forbidden Door already. Mentioned it on the show, one of our favorite pay-per-views last year. Super excited for that. And I think the championship should return to U.S. soil at that event with an international champion, literally an international champion. I think it would make a world of a difference and give AEW a nice boost.
Agreed.
And then, of course, our main event segment, the Elite versus the House of Black versus the Jericho Appreciation Society. The epitome of sports entertainers. Love that line. I absolutely love that line.
That tag, Daddy Magic, Cool Hand Man, they might be the most underrated tag team right now.
Love it. But this match in Winnipeg gave us Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho for the first time in almost 2 years. Almost 2.5 years. First time ever in Canada. Place was going crazy.
Exactly. That's pretty dope. Yeah.
Exactly. The House of
It's
Black
too bad they had
retained
House of
in a
Black.
very fun
Yeah.
match, of course. The only thing that wasn't great was just the crowd reaction at the end. The crowd didn't really care too much at the House of Black one because obviously fan favorites, hometown
Yeah.
favorites of Jericho and Kenny Omega sort of sandwich in between. Kind of tough. But nonetheless, House of Black won at Revolution, successfully defended their titles. What is next? Don't know. But
I
how
just
are we
want to mention
feeling?
one thing about House of Black. My fault cutting you off like that. Brody King, I haven't seen anything, so I am assuming he is good.
Yes, he is.
But I think when he got hit with the bat, like maybe he was just selling it really well.
He's covering
But
up
he
pretty
also
good.
he tried to pin as well, even after he had already tagged Buddy and they went through a whole thing. It's like he
Mhm.
forgot that he had. So I mean, it could have been just like slip of the mind, but like he was also holding his head, So
Yep.
I hope he is good.
I
And
think he's okay.
yeah, I haven't seen
Uh,
anything yet. Yeah. Yeah,
I'll
I
tell you
just wanted
after
to
the show.
mention. Yeah.
I'll tell you
Okay.
after the show.
Okay.
He's
But
most likely okay.
okay. No, I already know then what's happening. But yes, House of Black is fantastic. Malachi, Brody, and Buddy, I, they could all be world champions if they were by themselves, right? And they could even be champions together. They are
Yep.
champions together. But they could also be singles champions, They are just too good at what they do. The blackouts are a little too much for me at times because it happens at least twice every time they come out.
Yeah.
And sometimes it stays dark for a little while and it's like, hurry up, just get in the ring already, man.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the one like gripe I have is that sometimes the blackouts are a little too long, but they gotta get set up. I
Yeah.
get it. They gotta get set up, they gotta get it in place. So fantastic. I love House of Black. I will
Yes.
never trash House of Black.
They're doing very good work since coming back, winning the Trios Championship. I had been pitching Malachi to actually beat Orange Cassidy, considering that was
Yep.
sort of the beginning of I thought that's where they were going when they first debuted, and then they kind of pivoted off to the Ortiz Eddie Kingston deal. So
And
that's
that was
okay.
just to prove a point. It
Yeah.
didn't even matter. We make everybody dicks.
Yeah, just a lot going on there. But House of Black retains. Jericho Appreciation Society obviously has Sammy looking to take on MJF and their pillar battle. And then on the flip side, the Elite. What's next for the Elite? We got one hell of a tease at the end of Dynamite as Dark Order got their ass beat all the way out into the ring by Blackpool Combat Club. And guess who stands up for Hangman Page? His good old
They can
buddies.
sit their ass down. What are they
His
doing? They're
good
gonna get bludgeoned.
old buddies.
Yeah.
And now we're getting this 4-on-3 tease right now. What's going to be the equalizer for Blackpool Combat Club? I don't know. We've been
No,
pitching
you
a
do know.
mean
Yeah, you
Bree
know. You know.
Danielson. What was
Yes.
going to come out of this? I don't know. Will it be a big match on pay-per-view? Will we get a
Blood and
stadium
guts.
stampede, a blood and guts, an anarchy in the arena? I'm just
Yeah.
super excited because all four of these the four guys on either side, absolutely amazing wrestlers, individual accolades, tag team champion. Like there's a lot that goes on within these 8 men if we're able to get there
Yeah.
with Danielson going home
Go
for the
home.
time being. But the build for this, the tease, we've been waiting for it. We're finally getting it. What are your thoughts on this as a whole? Probably being maybe the second
I hope they beat the
major
shit out of each
storyline
other.
before under MJF, maybe the primary storyline heading into
1A,
whatever
1B.
pay-per-view. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
gonna, and that's what I mean by Double or Nothing. You can lead with MJF to begin the show, and you can close the show with this insane 4v4. Like it's just the way it looks to me. They can anchor out either open or the end of Double or Nothing, and I think it'd be good.
Yeah, I don't even know where to begin, bro. To be honest, you have Yuta against Omega, against Hangman, and
building,
yeah.
building
And then
someone
you
that was
got
considered a
Claudio
pillar.
and Moxley. And then hopefully, like you said, that mean Danielson comes in. I know it would be a little too much, but do we ever see Adam Cole around them, right? Does he get inserted in and then Kyle O'Reilly gets inserted with Blackpool? I've always wanted Kyle O'Reilly with them, you know. Kyle was my favorite.
Yep.
I want him with my favorite group.
Yep.
And that just, you know, that
He
just
would
adds more
fit.
talent.
He
Yeah,
would fit
yeah.
their
It
style.
just adds more talent into that match. But the 4 and the 3, you could just do that match. I don't care. You know, Blackpool would take on a handicap match. Even
Yeah.
they would be all for it, man. We don't care. We'll do it. Put us
Yeah.
in a cage. Put us in the stadium. Put us in a shark cage. We don't care.
Yeah.
Let's
We've
just
seen that
fight.
already.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yep. I
I
cannot
expect
wait.
blood and a lot more blood.
I'm okay if we get blood and guts and we get anarchy in the arena, kind of like they did with JSA and Blackpool. I'm totally fine with that. Blood and guts will be a ton of fun. Anarchy in the arena, one of our favorite matches last year. I'm all for it. I'm all for what comes out of this immense group of talent.
AEW, they in a positive light right now for us. I know we be seeing them. They ain't really got stories. Their stories,
they're
a little
building.
different.
They're
different,
there.
and and they are being built. Yeah,
exactly. I love it. I cannot wait to see what happens next. But let's continue onward as the road to WrestleMania continues, and we reach the WWE umbrella, starting with NXT Stand and Deliver. Some major news came out of Tuesday's show. Let's start things off by we got our host for the event this year. Nothing better than Pretty Deadly. Yes, boys will host in Hollywood. I think it is a nice fit. We have the Miz on WrestleMania. I think these sort of pair together really well. Excited to see that. They also made a match official contract signing. Carmelo Hayes versus Braun Breaker officially set
that was a little
in
weird for
stone. Yeah, so gonna dive right into that. Just gonna get right into that. The Braun Breaker feuds are no longer becoming I hate you, you hate me, I'm going to rip your head off. He's slowly becoming the all right, buddy.
Respect.
Give me your best shot. I'm gonna give you mine. Handshake. Is it becoming a little annoying? Maybe just a little bit. Maybe just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Maybe. But I wouldn't say that was what was weird for me. I think it was just like their interaction. Like the way they were talking, it just felt a little forced for me. And there were at times where I was like, I can't listen to this right now. You know, I was cringing a little bit with it. But I understood like where they were trying to get with it. And I do have subtitles on, so I was reading. But it just a little. The match is gonna be killer. The match is gonna make me forget that promo even happened.
Right.
And then the end when they squash him, you know, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So promo a little weird, but I know what it's leading to is going to probably steal the weekend potentially.
Potentially big moment for probably a big moment for Hayes, dethroning Braun Breaker's insane reign and dominance in NXT, or Braun Breaker continues to steamroll NXT and it's going to leave a big what's next for him.
Whoever loses really feels like they're getting called up, right?
Yeah, almost. Yeah, pretty much. That's why it feels like Hayes' big win. Give him the NXT championship and let him lead the brand for the next few months, and he can have matches with Frazier, Wes Lee, Axiom. You know what I mean? There's going to be all types of challengers. Dragon Lee, we know, is going to be debuting here shortly. Grayson Waller would get another crack at the championship, most likely. We'll have to see where Carmelo Hayes, Apollo Crews, where he lies in all this. Yeah.
He just got bodied by Dom.
Maybe Dabba-Kato comes up. You never know. They're going to give opportunities to different people. Right. We saw Jinder Mahal have a title match in NXT. We never thought we were going to see that. So there is some things going on.
This late.
Yeah. So that
I mean,
match
Braun got a win
official,
over a WWE champ, bro.
Yeah.
That's pretty great.
He also beat Ziggler.
And Ziggler. I forgot about that.
He also beat Ziggler. That was his, you know. True. So he's picking up momentum, and that's sort of where it leaves like the big what's next for him is going to be interesting.
He's already retaining.
He's beaten everybody in NXT. He's mixed it up with main roster talent. A lot of people are most definitely forgotten the last loss for Gunther was when he was Walter, and it was down in
I did forget
NXT to
about
Braun
that.
Breaker. A lot of people forget that.
Damn,
The last man to pin Gunther clean was, in fact, Braun Breaker. He has a lot of value. He has a lot of talent. And what's next for him after Stand and Deliver, if he retains, is going to be tough to figure out. There's not a lot left for him.
I know we're not doing predictions, but I do think if Cena beats Theory, that Braun Breaker call up to beat Cena on that Monday for the US title would be would be
Cena immediate US Open challenge and gets dropped
by a Steiner. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that match was made official. We got two matches that have been being established. We'll start with the one that has been the most confusing to try to figure out. The NXT Women's Championship will be vacated for the time being. Roxanne Perez. We had originally thought it was storyline. And yeah, we kind of think it's storyline. We're not too sure. Reports kind of came out after this late Tuesday night, early Wednesday, sort of. There is actually something that happened with Roxanne.
Yeah.
Maybe a pre-existing injury, and this was the way they got her off television. Now we've seen the qualifying matches. Sol Ruka loses to Zoe Starks as she punches her ticket. Then we seen Gigi beat
Kiana James.
Kiana James. That's what it was. Yes, as they were distracted by
why was Kiana in that match? She has no reason to be
because they're building the distrust storyline for her and Fallon, which we will get to in just a little bit. But yes, Gigi and Zoe Starks punched their ticket. Knowing WWE, this will most likely be a 6 to an 8 person ladder match. We have seen 5, so we're just gonna have to see which women sort of pick up these wins going forward. But thoughts on what we can see here. We try to predict some of the talent that'd be in it. So far, Gigi and Zoe were pretty much talents that we agreed on, and they got in.
Yes. Indy is someone that you mentioned, and of course, throw her in there. She's the veteran of the locker room.
Yep.
My surprise pick, and it was my first thought when it was announced that they were doing this. If there is anything like super serious where she is able to return, I thought that Roxanne was going to return at Stand and Deliver and be in the match and be like, I'm not going out like that. I'm defending my title. But they're not sure what it is, so there's really no telling if she will be able to wrestle, be medically cleared for that. If she is, I think her pulling up and be like, nah, this ain't happening without me would be great. She can lose that because ladder matches, it's where titles are lost, so the champ can be protected a little bit. I want Zoe to win this. I don't care who else is in this match.
Okay.
Zoe's music alone is the greatest thing, bro. The rock screamo, love it. I ain't even really rock with screamo like that, but her music is just like, it's perfect.
Yeah.
I love her music.
Yeah, me too. I had told you that literally last week, and then you messaged me this week. Like, you know what? It actually is. I'm like, I don't know what it is.
When you listen to it, it's like, yeah, I kind of want to beat the hell out of someone right now. Like, it just gets you pumped.
Yeah. No, we will have some more qualifying matches. We'll see talents, maybe Indy Hartwell. Elektra Lopez is still down in NXT. Did not move up with Legato. I'm sure they'll have something for her to do. Who?
Singles wrestlers that, like,
Cora Jade, we're still waiting for her to pop up. Wendy Chu has been injured. Tiffany Stratton most likely will be in it.
Wendy's probably injury.
Yeah, I think Tiffany's the front runner to win, in my opinion. We still have Laya Valkyra sort of lurking in the background, and Stevie Turner, our podcast queen.
Who was Lyra feud? Cora. Never mind. She ain't been on TV.
Exactly. So, maybe Lyra, maybe Stevie Turner sort of building up these.
You think maybe they have a match for it? Like, I don't know why, but maybe,
Give them a qualifying match. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what other women get in the mix. Ladder matches are tricky. We see it every year for Money in the Bank. Ladder matches are extremely tricky, men and women. It doesn't really matter. You always try to add a mix of talent and size, athleticism, the powerhouses. So it's going to be interesting to see
People
what
got to
they
go through the
develop in here.
ladders and jump
You
off
know
of
what I
them.
mean? You got to find someone willing to take the bumps. You got to pick out who's going to do the crazy spots. Like, there's a lot that goes into a ladder
If you're
match.
in wrestling, I know that bump is scary. I'm not in wrestling, and that bump terrifies you. But if you are willing to be a wrestler and you're putting your body through the line, like, you gotta expect they're all willing to take that bump to go through a ladder, even though that shit is painful. They willing.
Yep, the women have a lot to live up to because the last multi-women match that we seen was the Iron Survivor Challenge, which went over pretty well. You're gonna add a ladder in the mix. Let's definitely see what happens. And then, of course, before we move on to the road to WrestleMania on the main roster, our North American champion Wesley has been dishing out open challenges left and right. Bring it. The whole locker room is beating the brakes off of each other to get in this in the ring with the man. Fighting champion.
Yeah.
And Michaels made it official. Wesley will take on 4 other competitors of his choosing in a fatal 5-way at Stand and Deliver, a full-blown open challenge. We obviously have already spoken about some names: Exiems, the Frasers, the Von Wagners that are still lurking. Tony D, I'm not too sure what he's gonna do. Maybe tag team titles. We kind of saw that. That hasn't been made official just yet. Dragon Lee, we finally seen him on our television. Grayson Waller has not been not too sure. Excuse me, actually, he's actually facing Johnny Gargano. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Forgot.
Which that shit got about
personal. That shit got real fast. Personal. Gargano. We're gonna have to wait and see. It is people of his choosing, so we'll have to see who Wesley feels is worthy enough to challenge him, worthy enough of an opportunity.
I'll tell you first two. They were the 2 that were in the ring with him that caused him to start fighting people. Those 2 would add it out.
Script.
Oh, no, not them. JD.
JD and Ilya.
Yeah. Quick note on the Scripps Axiom. That's about to be a comic book to the left, right? That's a superhero versus a villain.
Yeah.
And when Scripps finally gets unmasked, right? And it's, oh shit, it's Reggie. You know, I think that's where we're leading to with this. Axiom is he's a superhero.
Yep.
Scripps looks like a villain.
Yep.
Scripps ain't really getting over too well right now. I think this is the right way to go with him. But Ilya and JD.
Included
JD hit Wes earlier in the night, and then they get in the ring and they bump into, and it's just like, all right, those 2 have to at least be in there.
That I'm not mad about that. That's a nice 3-way triple threat to start us up. Figure out what 2 men get added in. Still would like to see Dragon Lee infused in this some way. I feel like Wes would pick him as one of his challengers. It's going to be exciting.
He hasn't fought him yet. He just pulled up. Yeah, let's see what he got.
And this is why this match is also, as previously mentioned, Breaker and Hayes being a potential show stealer. A fatal 5-way with the right components and the right pieces can be absolutely amazing. Again, the last multi-man match we've seen was the Iron Survivor Challenge, and both the men and the women were really good. So this is just ups the ante for Stand and Deliver.
You want to give we got Ilya, we got Lee, and we got JD. You want to give a guess who that last one's going to be?
I don't know. I could see a Wagner getting a thrust in there. I think Nathan Frazier. Yeah, I think Nathan Frazier could also see him getting in there because it does look like Reggie Scripps and Exiem will be due for a singles match. So there's not a lot of men that are going to be elevated up. I don't know, because Apollo's going to keep doing what he's doing.
I think Dijak would be that perfect fit because his match with Wes ended wonky with Tony D. You know? And it's not, we're going to give you a fair one-on-one, but we'll give you the chance.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I can see it's Wes's choosing. So I can see him being like, hey, you got cheated out of your last opportunity. Yep. We can run that back. I can see him picking Wagner because he just wants to, show he isn't scared and things. I can really see him picking anyone on the roster. We might even just get a random throw-in.
Jay
You really
White.
never know.
Fuck it. Throw Jay White in there.
I'm thinking more of somebody that hasn't had a ton of screen time, an Odyssey Jones maybe. We've seen him
Ooh, I like
around.
that.
I really think it's up to Wes's choosing. It doesn't really need a story. He's like,
Yeah.
I think you're deserving of a shot. You're an underrated talent. I want to see you in the ring. Oro
And then
Mensah hasn't been around. Like, I really think Wes having sort of control of his own choosing doesn't need to be an elaborate story. You can just put on a really good match, AEW style, by just chucking a bunch of fucking pieces together. It does work.
Story comes
Good
after.
matches.
Why didn't you pick me? Why wasn't I worthy of
or if
being in there
if he
with
loses,
you, you know?
it can go from there. And then obviously, if it's Ilya and JD, they branch off and they do their own thing, and then it leaves Wes with whoever wants to challenge him, or him still chasing the North American Championship because he, a debuting Dragon Lee runs away with the championship. What a hell of a debut that would be. So
Leon Ruff, people forgot about him.
Yes, you know what I mean.
Forgot about him.
It can really be at any given moment. But Stand and Deliver is going to be exciting. We move on to WrestleMania later on in the night. We have at least reports from the Wrestling Observer newsletter. Night 1 main event: Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. Night 2. Cody versus Roman Reigns. How are we feeling about night 1, night 2 main events?
I think everybody knew those were the 2 set in stone main events. It was really which nights, but I don't even think it was really which nights. I think everyone understood Roman and Cody. They are going to be the last thing we see.
Yep.
Yeah, it's right. Those 2 matches probably have the biggest big match feel to them right now.
That have been announced. There is a lot of discourse on Twitter that this particular tag team title match should be main eventing. There is a lot of that going on Twitter right now. But it may, I don't know, maybe, potentially. That has
feel good, huge pop out of the way.
That has been the one, like, oh, why are the women gonna be? You know what I mean? No offense to the women. They didn't get a main event last year. It was Stone Cold and Kevin Owens last year, and then it was Goldberg and Roman the next night. So we know Roman is going to defend. We know he's going to be the champion. He's going to main event, that's for sure. So, you only had one night left. The women deserve some representation this year.
I was going to say the only other match that could maybe switch out would be Bianca and Asuka, but the build for that match it's been a little weird. People are not feeling the Asuka, but she's just a creepy weirdo. She's a creepy weirdo. She's just trying to psych Bianca out, Head games. Blue blood dripping off her mouth.
Well, go ahead. Keep going. Keep talking about that, because that's another match on our match card. Asuka.
What else do
Bianca,
I need to say about it?
No,
I won't say who's winning. I don't know who's winning. But
build is
it's been a little meh, but it's Asuka versus Bianca. The match is most likely going to be good.
Yeah.
Bianca's main event at WrestleMania before.
Yeah.
Asuka is deservingly so to this main event at WrestleMania at some point. But Charlotte, Royal Rumble winner. Yeah, it's royalty, Royal Rumble winner. It's, it's going to happen.
I hear it. And on the Bianca Asuka note, I agree. The build has been a little wonky. I hope we see something pick up here because the crowd hasn't been reacting.
People miss the paint, is what I'm seeing.
I've seen that too. It's going to be interesting. More women's Damage Control will take on Lita, Becky, and Trish at WrestleMania. Got to see where what unfolds from there. There's obviously the rumors of Trish turning heel to face Becky at SummerSlam already. There's a lot of that going on. Oh yeah,
Trish can't turn heel, bro.
There's a lot of that going on. And then of course, are Lita and Becky defending the women's tag team titles. The favorite seems to be Shayna and Ronda. We'll have to see how all that starts developing. We're like 2 weeks away. 3 weeks away from WrestleMania, so there's not a lot of time to be dicking around. But how are we feeling about our women's matches? Obviously, we have our 3v3. Our women's are all situated. We're waiting for the women's tag match. I'm sure we'll get another match tossed in there somewhere for the women, if not a women's.
So.
Yeah, Andre.
People are gonna want. They're not doing that. I saw they weren't doing any battle royals this year.
Not even on
I
the
forget
SmackDown
who.
before?
I don't think so. No, I feel like I saw they were doing no battle royals. Fuck that, but I could be wrong. You gotta get Liv in there somehow. Triple
Right.
H is gonna want to get Raquel in there somehow if
That's
she's
what I'm
good to
thinking.
go.
I'm thinking
Yeah,
we're getting
that's
some. I don't know what we're getting, but I feel like we're gonna get some multi-woman tossing
right.
something.
Number one contender,
Maybe
like the next night on Raw or SmackDown or something. I don't know. But yeah, it does feel like they will throw in another females match somewhere. And Becky can't turn heel. Quick note: Trish can't turn heel.
hey,
How do you
these are
get
just
either one of them to turn heel?
listen.
Like Becky can turn heel.
The dirt
But
sheets are talking about all the way for SummerSlam. So I mean, we'll have to wait and see how we
can
get
we just
there.
get a respect match and just be like, hey, I want to
Maybe.
fight you. I want to fight you. Let's just fight. Why do I have to hate you for us to have a match?
Because
Right?
story.
No,
Because
fuck that. You
story.
can tell a story with two faces, man. You can
You
tell a story
can.
with two heels.
You can. But story.
No, I don't agree.
And
If
then
that's
there's
what story is, it's not story. No, trash. I don't like you.
a match, whether you love it or hate it, it is a spectacle.
What I'm talking about.
The Giant
Yeah.
Omos will take on Cowboy Barack in what was WWE's most watched clip of the week by literally
half a
like
mil.
double. Yeah, like
It was half a
literally
mil when I saw it.
that segment blew almost everything else out of the water pretty much.
People want to see him F5 them, man. They
Yeah,
want to see the
it's
Omos F5.
Brock moves the needle. Brock is a
Oh,
needle
yeah.
leader, needle mover. He is an absolute beast of a human being. Fans love him. They want to see him. He's come a long way from his championship days where he just never was on TV and people were kind of we didn't want no part of him.
Soured.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't
But
want no
every
part of
time he
Brock.
pulled up, woo!
And
We're
yeah,
here. Let's go.
yes, Brock is here. Big match. I was hoping for the trilogy with Bobby Lashley, but it's not gonna happen. He'll
Like
be
that,
wrestling Omos. How are you feeling about this? I don't know if we're gonna get a great match out of this. I don't know. I have no idea.
I hope we get at least. And it's gonna be kind of a long match. I hope we get at least a decent 10-minute match out of them. Like that's all I ask for. Just give us a decent 10 minutes. You know the suplexes are gonna be cool because
Yeah.
Omos is ginormous.
Yep.
You know the F5s are gonna be cool because Omos is ginormous. And then when Omos is actually destroying Brock, people are gonna be like, "Oh shit, look at Omos. Maybe he can." And then he eats a couple more F5s, and it's like, yeah, it's Brock. What do you expect? You know. But this, I hope it does take Omos to not the highest level, but that next level in his development.
You're a football fan, so you've seen this
course.
segment quite a bit. The Boomers fastest 2 minutes or fastest 3 minutes.
3
That's
minutes,
what this is gonna be.
Yeah.
Omos get a couple beat ups in the corner. We'll see the always Brock Lesnar through the barricade spot that we see in almost every Brock Lesnar match nowadays.
Yeah.
And then Brock's gonna come in the ring, hit a couple Germans. Quick
He's gonna have to
F5.
show off
He's
his
in and out of there
agility,
in 5
man.
minutes.
If Omos gets his hands on him, it's over for Brock. How does he get away from him? He's 7'5", 7'4", 7 foot.
This
I
is
swear,
a
MVP changes that man's height every single week, bro. 416 pounds.
Quick 5
he
minutes.
doesn't use his agility. Brock's screwed.
Quick 5 minutes. Quick 5 minutes.
Did I try to
No.
convince you with Omos winning?
Hey,
No.
absolutely not. Absolutely not. My man has lost his
I
last
hope
like
it's
3
fun.
pay-per-view matches.
I mean, it's tough because if it's like with Andre the Giant. I've been watching the WrestleMania. I'm on WrestleMania 4.
Yeah, I know.
3, it's like, well, why were you never world champ? I didn't want it. Well, why didn't you want it? I didn't want to be world champ. Oh, the hell? Why wouldn't you want to be world champ? Dude was undefeated for like 15 years.
He was
And
for
when you
about
look
30
at
seconds
Omos,
and then sold it.
yeah. And then you look at Omos, right? And it's like, this dude should be able to beat anybody. How can anybody pick him up? How can anybody make him tap out? Like you have to suspend your beliefs with Omos. Like
Right.
He's
Yes.
not gonna beat everyone, even though he probably should. And when he does eventually lose to Santos Escobar or someone like that, you remember like with Ray and the Great Khali?
Yeah.
Ray finally gets to that win, you know, and it's like, oh shit, he finally did it. It'll be like that. Like, he'll be able to lose more easily when he loses to a smaller person.
Yeah. I hear
You
it.
won't want him to eat that many losses. You know, he's a monster.
Yeah.
How does he lose? It's like with Nia Jax. They always had her counted out, which
Yeah.
that was the worst.
I don't
Just
know.
have her lose, bro. This
I don't
is
know.
wrestling.
Just gonna have faces cheating to beat Omos. I don't know.
Right. Like it's
I don't know.
okay if they lose. Like we get it. They're monsters.
know.
They shouldn't.
I agree.
What is it? David and Goliath, bro. David won.
Yes. Yes, he
From
did.
what we were told, at least.
Hey, the history
It was
is
really a
written
third
by
party that took out the Giant, bro.
history is written by the victors, as we have heard.
Or so we're told. We're told.
Hey, he got the dub.
Yeah.
Next pair of matches are the celebrity / part-timer matches. Not really, don't want to call them. I guess it's exactly what it is. The celebrity part-timers. Seth freaking Rollins takes on Logan Paul. I believe Logan has already said it in Pulse that this will be Saturday night 1.
Okay.
I believe he has said. And then Austin
Fury
Theory defends the U.S. Championship against John Cena. Not too sure what night that will be, but how are we feeling? The part-time celebrities getting in the mix with the obvious full-timers. Obviously, the builds haven't been consistent, but they've been pretty solid so far. Cena, Theory, amazing segment.
Cena cooked that man.
Yes, amazing segment.
He threw that man in a pan and cooked his ass up. Bro.
Logan, obviously, Logan versus Seth has been building since the Royal Rumble.
That ain't one punch, man. That ain't doing fist.
So how are we feeling? These guys obviously haven't been around, aren't in the ring all the time, aren't on our TVs, so the builds have to be impactful and done rather quickly. How invested are you in these two matches so far?
Well, I mean, with Cena in theory, you know, it's John Cena. How can you not be invested with that? My feelings, though, Theory, Rollins, they backs are about to be hurting with all the carrying they are about to do in these matches. Theory is about to make Cena look like Cena can go do a whole nother year again with the WWE. So? Yeah, I think Theory's that good. I think he will be able to carry Cena to his best match since we had that Bray Wyatt Cena match at Mania during the pandemic era when it was just wild as hell. I know people probably ain't really like that
prototype again.
But remember the Taker and Cena match?
That like 5 minute.
That was gross. We don't need that type of match out of Cena, so I expect Theory to carry. And then Logan and Seth. Apparently, Logan's matches are scripted, like way ahead of time, and they practice all the spots. Which no knock, get it right. Everyone make it look good for the people. If you want to do it your way, I guess. Right?
He doesn't have years of experience to be able to just call it in the ring.
Yeah, no, for sure. But
he held his own against Roman. Rollins. As scripted as it was, they made sure to give us a lot of good moments, show us his athleticism and his flashes. So it's gonna be good.
His Rumble match, his spot was almost said Cedric with Ricochet. Yep. His match against Miz was good. You know, like he does good. I just expect Rollins to be like, I'm not losing to that. He didn't beat Roman. He can beat the Miz because it's the Miz. But I'm Seth freaking Rollins, bro. I cannot lose to this man.
It sucks that Seth is gonna lose.
He better not, bro.
He is.
He better not.
He will, and if he does lose, I'm
get a Jake Paul interference.
I'm going to predict an early reinvention of character. We'll see the end of the Seth freaking Rollins. I think will be the development of the next era of Seth Rollins' character. If he loses.
I hear it. I hope he don't, though. That'll be so saddening. That honestly, that'll probably break my heart and ruin the
Hey,
rest of the night for me.
it's all right, man. It's all right. They want to make Logan seem as legitimate as possible.
He can do that with losses. He makes
Uh,
himself look good in the ring. He does, but he can do it with losses. It's okay.
Depends. Depends.
No one likes Logan, bro.
No,
Everyone.
he's a good
Well,
heel.
yeah, that he can lose. He can lose. It's okay.
And then,
It's
of
okay.
course, one of our pretty much longest storied feuds, most likely coming to an end. It started at WrestleMania, and it looks to end at WrestleMania. Judgment Day and Edge hopefully coming to a conclusion. Edge takes on Finn Balor. Rumors are Demon Balor.
I mean,
Inside
what Finn
Hell in a Cell, which hopefully
I've
gives
been to
us
hell.
the
They didn't like my
confirmation that the
demons.
pay-per-view as a whole has been scrapped. We know when Triple H took over, he said
Thank
he was
God.
going to be addressing Elimination Chamber, Money in the Bank, Hell in a Cell, all these gimmick matches to build to this. And he did say Hell in a Cell needed to be not just a pay-per-view, not just a throw-in match, but something that
Mattered.
has an actual meaning and a blood feud, a big grudge feel. And again,
it is a feud ending match.
Yes, a year in the making. Edge recruited Damian Priest last year, debuting Judgment Day at WrestleMania, beating AJ Styles, who we are missing this year at WrestleMania. Hopefully you get well soon.
Yep.
But yes, and then of course we saw Rhea Ripley and then Finn Balor join, and then Dominic obviously joined the takeover and everything that's been happening. It's a year in the making. So the end is here for this feud and Edge's story and intertanglement with the Judgment Day in what should be probably a 20-minute absolute banger of a match.
Yeah.
I think it's going to get time. I think it's absolutely going to get time. Because if Edge loses, he gotta go away for a little while. Make it a big crazy match. Make it a big crazy match. And we know Trips loves Balor, and we know if the fans see Demon Balor, we don't want him to go down.
Dude,
same with
that's
the
gonna
Fiend.
be-
We want those characters to be protected for a reason.
Yeah, we do, but when it's like that, I understand. We haven't seen Demon Balor in forever. I think last time we saw him was it against Corbin at SummerSlam, bro?
The disgusting image that stays in my head is him hanging off the post when the ring shit the bed. So
yeah.
hard
And
to-
then like this is a great time to bring it back. You do it at the grandest stage of them all in a Hell in a Cell match.
you bring the demon to Hell in a
All I
Cell.
ask is that I saw a spot someone wanted.
The spear off
Edge spearing Finn Balor off the top onto a table.
Death.
Dude.
Death. Nah.
They better have them
no part of
attached to like bungee cords. They better be.
They better just so happen to have
protect-
rolled out the world's
Dude.
largest announce table and
Yes.
crash pad
And then
imaginable
not only
for that match.
crash pad under, and then put a bounce house around them as well, dude. All right, like that is terrifying to think that someone wants Edge, who just came back from his neck being broke, and they want him to break his neck again.
The only way it works
That'd be insane, though.
is if they make it the size of AEW, how they have blood and guts, and Sammy was able to take that bump.
Yeah,
it needs to come down quite a few feet.
Yeah.
If anyone's being speared off of the fucking Hell in a Cell,
you can't have it horizontal, bro. It's got to be vertical so Edge can have a good landing spot.
It's crazy,
right?
It is an absolutely insane spot that shouldn't happen.
No, hell no.
You can probably get it to happen in WWE 2K fucking whatever the hell came out earlier today.
Yes. If they want to do a spot from the top, you have Finn Balor do his coup de grace from the top.
That hurts though.
Yeah, hell yeah, it hurts.
You trying to have my man's Finn break his legs though?
Just cave in his chest real quick. Nah, they can do it. They aim, lean back. They got it. They can do it. Nah, if we get in a spot, I would like to see something like that. not no Edge going head first into the crowd, bro.
I hear it.
Yeah.
That's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be insane. I cannot wait. Of course, we have to wait for some more WrestleMania matches to be announced.
Yeah, we still got like 2 weeks to go.
Gunther's opponent should be named tonight. Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre in a number one contenders match. We have to see what comes of the Usos tag titles. Obviously, Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens is the heavy rumor. As previously mentioned, will the women's tag champions titles be defended?
Please
What
stand
does
up.
that hold? And then, of course,
Just get rid of those titles, honestly, at this point. It is so depressing, those titles.
and then, of course, are we getting Mysterio versus Mysterio? So there's still some things to be announced. Obviously, we don't have the full match card yet.
Does he get his mask ripped off? Does Dominic rip his mask off in Ray's final match?
Maybe.
Does Dominic disrespect him that much? That'd be crazy.
Maybe. It's gonna be crazy. We got like you said, we got like 2 to 3 weeks left of build. Some matches still need to be
right here, your kid,
sort of ironed out. Yeah, you know, beat your son's ass. Like, the only time anybody ever wants that. But it's gonna be interesting to see what they got in store for us. But that's gonna do it for us here today at RGTP. Mamba, let the good folks know what they got to do.
Like, comment, share, subscribe, and turn the noties on.
Turn the noties on. Have a good night. Yes, sir.